My name is Chris Guarnera, and I'm a drone instructor at Francis Tuttle Institute of Technology in Oklahoma City. I also have extensive experience with 3D modeling and inspections using high-resolution imagery in the telecom industry. I've utilized cutting-edge drone technology to gather precise data for years. The next big industry that will be revolutionized with drones will be roofing. Anyone who says that they're not able to gather the right data using drones is simply not using the right equipment. Today, my promise to you is I'm going to demonstrate exactly what the right equipment is and what it looks like to gather really high resolution and precise data. There are many different drones out there. However, I can only in good conscience recommend one drone to gather the data that roofers need. The Mavic 3 Enterprise series of drones is the best drone on the market and is exactly what you should be using in order to get the detail that you need. The Mavic 3 Enterprise, as well as the multispectral series of drones, has the wide angle resolution in 4K that you're gonna need to get that pristine data on a large area. And then the Mavic 3 Thermal series has a 50x zoom feature and also an infrared camera to be able to identify any sort of heat loss and insulation issues. With these two drones, I'm going to debunk the myth that drones are unable to gather the same level of detail as a traditional inspection. Now, obviously, drones will not be able to do your entire job. However, it will reduce the need for getting on roofs as often and at what point of the sales process. These drones will decrease your risk and increase your efficiency, which will in turn increase how much money you can make. So now we're gonna go outside, do a live demonstration with these drones in real time so you can see what this looks like on my own house. I will guide you through the setup, show you the different features, and then bring you back inside where we can review the data together. All right, well, welcome outside, and this is gonna be our live demonstration phase. So I'm gonna go ahead and apologize in advance. It's windy, it may be hard to hear, and I'm gonna make a few mistakes in this, but we're gonna keep it going live because I want you guys to get the full value and understand how incredible these pieces of equipment are. So the first thing we're gonna be flying is gonna be this Mavic 3 Thermal. The Mavic 3 Thermal is our first one. So this drone is absolutely incredible. You're gonna have the infrared, you're also gonna have your wide angle, and also a zoom. So this is a 56 telescopic zoom. It's considered a hybrid one for a lot of reasons, but the important thing is it has thermal and also high resolution zoom capability. So let's get this one in the air. It already has a battery in there. The battery can last around 45 minutes. I've already expended about half of it, but we still have plenty left. The controller is a full-size controller. This is what it looks like. It's a little bit different than if you're used to using a smaller DJI or maybe a Skydio series drones. It's a full frame camera, so you can see exactly what's going on without having to use any third-party apps or your own phone. So it's getting all set up right now. All right, go enter, click away. I need to get this thing recording. Screen's recording, perfect. So now let's go ahead and get this thing in the air. So as you can see, this thing handles extremely well. It's just gonna look right at us, and it holds itself extremely well. Even in this high wind, we have about somewhere between 15 and 20 mile per hour gusts right now, and it's still able to handle completely fine. So let's get it all the way up. First thing is you can see the resolution on this camera. So this is not a high resolution wide angle camera, but the great thing about it is you do have the zoom feature. So let's go ahead and start using a zoom. This is all the way out. When you start zooming in, you can start seeing some incredible detail. Let it focus. Excellent right now. You can start taking photos as well. So 13, 14, 28. Now we're at 56. You can actually see every one of these individual granules on the sheets. This is absolutely incredible, guys. So is that necessary for what you're doing? Probably not, but if you want to confirm something, you can zoom in and really showcase every single one of those damage or impact or anything you guys are really looking for. So let's keep walking around. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and zoom in on this actual vent right here. This is at 6x right here. We're gonna start taking photos. Now we're at 11x. Now we're at 20x or 28x, and you can see the individual plates, the paint splatters on this vent right here. I don't know how much more resolution you need, but there we go. Let's go zoom back out again. Let's see if we can get some hail damage on top of this one. Like I said, we're gonna go right back on top of it. And let's zoom back in. All right, so now we're gonna zoom in on this vent up here. Let's zoom in and see it nice and close. And I'm also recording on here as well. Let's zoom in some more. So you can see each individual dent on this as well. And this is just recording the whole time, taking individual pictures of it. All right, let's go back out again. Now on the other side. Let's inspect each one of these. Once again, take the photos. That's at 10. This is at 22x. You can see all the nomenclatures on this. Wow, phenomenal. Okay, zoom back out. All right, guys, I think I've demonstrated the points here. Like, this zoom is absolutely phenomenal, and it's really hard for me to understand anyone who says that's not sufficient quality for what they're looking for. Now, yeah, it's just phenomenal. And the Skydio drone that is used by in this industry right now, it does not have a zoom feature at all, and that's why the drone has to get so close. It's because it doesn't have the capability of doing that. So now I'll switch over to infrared. All you're gonna do is click right here. Now you can see the infrared profile of the house itself. So it's a newer house, so I don't really have any issues with this. But if you do have any sort of heat loss or insulation issues, this will help you identify it. Really, really phenomenal. This is really, really useful for the commercial side. You can see the HVAC units extremely well. You can actually watch the blade spinning, and you can also get point measurements. So as you click the screen, it will tell you what the actual measurements are on that screen. So, phenomenal. All right, well, let's go ahead and tin this one down. We're gonna get the other drone in the air. Oh, actually, one more thing I want to show you guys. You can go to here infrared, and then you can also do a side-by-side. You can show the RGB spectrum, as well as, if it wants to get it to work, oh, there we go. Side-by-side, you can have the RGB along with the infrared at the same time. It'll help you in diagnosing issues. All right, so let's go ahead and bring this one down. And we're gonna get the other drone in the air. All right. So same exact thing. We're going to be utilizing the Mavic 3 multispectral this time. The reason why we're using the multispectral is because it has a lot larger of a camera on it. So it's a 4K resolution. Let me show you what that looks like real quick. The bottom camera right here, this is an absolute monster. This is a 4K resolution, 20 megapixel camera. This blows everything else out of the water of equivalent price ranges in this industry. So phenomenal, phenomenal drone. It has a much larger sensor size than other comparable cameras. It has a lot more megapixels, and it also has mechanical shutter. What that means, you're not going to get any sort of motion blur as you're using. This thing can and has flown 30 miles an hour over an area, and I get extremely crisp, clear pictures with it. So you don't have to worry about any sort of wind interfering, or you can do mapping missions at extremely high speeds, and you're going to still get that very crisp data. So let's go ahead and get it in the air. Let me go ahead and switch this over so I can record it. There we are. All right, we are in the air. Now, it's really hard to tell unless you're doing it side by side, but this thing actually has a lot larger field of view. So what that means, you're able to capture a lot larger of an area than with the thermal drone. So the great thing about this is you can actually scan the entire facade of a roof and get extremely high resolution of the entire facade as you go across. So this is mapping at 0.6 seconds. It takes another picture. And I'm just going across the facade right now and gathering all of that data in one pass. And I will show you what this quality looks like after we're done. You can also hear it potentially beeping. This is the obstacle avoidance. You can see the red on the bottom. This is alerting us that we are near the roof, and it's gonna make sure you're not actually gonna touch the roof. And I'm not joking with that. This thing's actually hard to crash. You have to intentionally try to crash it because this thing is so incredibly powerful. It will keep you away from the roof itself. So this is what this looks like, and you can go through and review these photos and find what you're looking for. You can also use certain artificial intelligence softwares to take these photos and identify any sort of storm damage. But it's really, really neat. Now, one thing that I hear a lot of is, well, it doesn't have automatic mapping. Well, a couple reasons why. Number one, with that telescopic zoom, what do you need the mapping for? You really just don't. Now, the second thing is you actually can do mapping with this drone. There's no reason why you can't. However, it's not really that useful in this situation. You can still go up here, you can still get your overall shots, you can still go down here and get your front shots of the actual house. You can hear the different corners of it. Now, we are gonna do a mapping mission. I'm gonna show you what that looks like. We're gonna push this button right here. We're gonna push a plus button, area route. We're gonna find the house we're gonna do a scan over, and we're gonna do an automatic map over the house itself. I'm gonna push the check mark, push OK. I'm gonna go down here, we're gonna adjust the GSD. This is the most important variable right here. It essentially tells you how much area per pixel represents. I'm gonna do a 0.6, so very high resolution. So we're gonna be 73 feet off the ground. Push the save button. And then all we're gonna do is push go. Scroll down, next, upload. It's gonna take 23 seconds. The drone is automatically went up in the air. You wanna show the actual drone flying? That may be a cool shot for it. And the drone is automatically gonna go above it and capture all the detail you need of this house on a directly 90-degree angle. Now you can also do what's called a smart oblique feature as well, where you're getting multiple angles. However, for the purpose of time, we're just going to go ahead and do this capture only. And then, just like you may be familiar with, it's now going to start its automatic flight landing. All right, now it's going to do its automatic landing. I'm going to go ahead and cancel that. But as you can see, it lands automatically just like other drones we've been familiar with. But this drone just blows everything else out of the water. It really, really does. The camera quality and what you generate out of it is just phenomenal. Let's go ahead and land it, and then we're going to go and show you guys what the data actually produces. Look at that stability. High winds, doesn't even care. All right, let's go inside and see what data we produced. All right, so we're back to the office, and now it's time to do a review of the pictures that we just took. So yeah, let's just go ahead and dive into it. We're going to start right here with the Mavic 3 Enterprise series. This is the wide angle 4K resolution ones. Just to clarify, there were a ridiculous amount of photos that we're taking while we were out there. So I went ahead and found some of my favorite ones and threw them on there just for the sake of time here. So let's go ahead and open this up, and you guys can see this is a wide angle lens, so you can see a little bit of the fishbowl once it does actually fully populate, a little bit of fishbowling at the edge. This is totally normal and it's expected. The reason why this camera is made for mapping, so it has a larger field of view than what most cameras do have, but it is 4K resolution, very large sensor. This is a top of the line sensor and camera for this level of drone. So as you can zoom in, you can start to see some extreme detail here. And remember, it takes a photo every 0.6 seconds. Okay, every 0.6 seconds it takes a photo. And then all we got to do is just keep going over, and you can see how quickly it takes a photo. And we were not going slow when we were taking these photos. We're just zooming across, and it can still get this extreme detail. So really, it's phenomenal, right? This is really awesome, and you can use this footage right here to do a quick scan of your of the roofs you're working with, and just to check to see if you see any obvious damage. So use on each one of the facades. You can also use some artificial intelligence to go through here and identify any storm damage as well. So that's from the multispectral, the Mavic 3 Enterprise series for the 4K resolution wide angle lens. So let's go over here to the zoom feature. This one is a 56x optical zoom, or it's a hybrid zoom, 56x hybrid zoom. So let's go ahead and see some of the detail on some of these pictures. So like right here, I mean, how much more detail can you possibly ask for, right? And this was done in real time. You guys saw this. So we zoomed in really close on this one. You can see, I mean, you can read all the information off here. That's probably pretty sufficient. Not a great photo here, but like you can go in here and you can see each one of the different granules on this. Just phenomenal. So yeah, I will take notice that the zoom camera does not have a mechanical shutter, and so you do get some motion blur as it's moving, and obviously we did have some high winds. So if we didn't have the high winds, you'd actually get a lot crisper data. But like right here, I mean, you should be pretty sufficient with this. I would imagine so. Not the best picture on this one. Oh, this is good. I like this resolution right here. So you can start to see though, like, oh wow, look at that. Oh my gosh, that's wild. You can actually read which patent number this is. Extremely clear too. So that's awesome. I'm not sure what I was doing on that one, but you can see the spatter up here. But yeah, pretty phenomenal. Man, it's just, you guys can see this. This is extremely obvious that you can find value out of this, and it's pretty. It's just disingenuous to say that this data is not usable. Now on the thermal side, obviously there's not much I can take off of that for this particular capture. So I went ahead and pulled up one of our previous captures off of a commercial project. So you can start to see what this resolution is going to look like on this. So yeah, I mean, you guys are the experts in this industry, and you can clearly see this and use this data. Like, it's very, very clear. And this is a side-by-side, so whenever you take a thermal picture, it also takes an RGB. And remember, you have the side-by-side view up at the same time, so you can do a diagnosis with the RGB as well as the infrared at the same time. And also take note that this was captured at night. It's really important. It's when you're going to get the best details and the best data at night when you're working with anything that has to do with the infrared. So we flew this in the dead of night, but you can see that. This is awesome. Just so cool. Yep, right there as well. Really awesome. So neat. And remember, you can also click on the button on this screen, and you'll be able to see the individual, the actual heat temperature readings while you're flying as well. So, yeah, guys. I mean, the purpose of this video, I want to demonstrate to you guys that not all drones can do this, right? But there are certain drones who do have the capabilities to produce incredibly detailed imagery that is usable in this sphere. But
you have to use the right drones. And that's the important thing here. You have to use the right equipment, and you can't just, take a butter knife, try to cut a steak and not be able to do it and then say, man, knives suck. No, the knife you're using is not the right tool for the job, right? So this drone right here, the Mavic 3 Enterprise Series, this is the right tool for the job. And if you're not using that particular drone, you're really using subpar equipment, and I just cannot stress it enough. So yeah, guys, I really hope that I promised and I delivered on what I said I would. It's really important for us that we are very genuine in what we're doing, and so this is our company right here. We're Blue Falcon Aerial. This is who we are, and what do? We help roofers make money, right? The drones, they fly themselves, and we partner with a lot of different AI and software companies to essentially bring your company up to speed and bring you into the 21st century. That is the goal, right? So we work with a lot of different people who ensure that you guys are staying at the cutting edge of technology, and I really think that there is a ton of potential in the roofing industry with drones and artificial intelligence. So what we do drone selections, customized playbook. We also do software integrations. We make sure you have the right insurance. We give you the right training, FA waivers and authorizations. We could be a consultant, project management, data processing. There's so much stuff that we can do and bring value to your company. Yeah, so something else I want to bring up here is it says Blue Falcon Aerial is offering free services to roofing companies. So yeah, that's what we do. We actually give you free consultations and help integrate softwares and drones into your program. So all you have to do is contact us. We'll sit down with you, do a needs assessment, figure out what you do actually need for your company. I'll get you guys a shopping list of all the different things you're going to need. We'll get you guys hooked up with the right insurances, make sure you have the right trainings, etc. And although the companies that we work with, obviously they charge money, our company does not. We get kickbacks from those companies to essentially make sure that you are set up. So we act as their marketing and sales to really make sure that you guys get the right equipment, the right software to give you the competitive edge that you need. So that's what we do. And of course, we do offer all those other things as well. But yeah, if you just give us a call, and I would love to have a conversation with you and see how we can help. There's a little bit of information down here as well. However, one of the things I'm actually really pushing right now is we made a school community. So we have a school community on here, and this is designed, if you're not sure who Alex Hermosi is, you're living under a rock, but this community is made to where we're going to be innovating the roofing industry from this school page. So make sure to join it. It's entirely free. If you get to a point where it tries to make you charge money, then you're at the wrong spot, okay? You should not have to pay any money to get in here, but join this group because I'll be doing a lot of different classes and hosting different things, and it's a really, really great opportunity in here. Just make sure to check it out. Yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I really hope it delivered on what I said it would, and that's really important for us. So, all right, well, outside of that, have a good day, and I will see you guys in the next one. See you guys.